Hi everyone, it's Lucky and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we're going to be reviewing these two plushies. No, I'm just joking, I'm not doing that. These are just placeholders for the figures because I can't fit them all in frame without making it look awkward. And it was kind of gonna be a voiceover while I'm opening the figures. So if you didn't see my last video where I was kind of like doing an update on my life, I was saying how I have a backlog of figures that I have to open. Well, today is the day where I'm gonna open some of the figures. I'm only gonna open some of them because I don't want to make like a 30-minute long video of me just opening figures and androids, so I'm gonna break it up into two, maybe three parts. So this is part one, where I'm gonna open three, technically four figures, kind of, and that'll be the case for the next three videos that come out of my channel. So without further ado, let's get straight into the unboxing. We're gonna start off with the non-scale figure Cthulhu Meowthulhu Pajama Party completed figure. Now I got all of these off Ami. That's really the only place where I buy my figures, and I was expecting her to be a small figure, you know, kind of like a noodle cup size, or maybe just a tiny bit bigger so I can just put her on my desk. However, when she came in and she was in this massive box, I was really confused. I was like, okay, so what is the case? So I decided, so obviously I opened her up and I found out that the figure herself is tiny, and the reason why the box is so big is to store all of the extras that she came with. That includes the fur cushion based amulet, like a good luck charm, a ballpoint pen, which I didn't know was there, but I didn't really read the description of the figure. She also came with character sheets, multi-face, just like a full dice set, storage pouch, exactly which one of the items is supposed to be a dice tray, because none of them really looked like a dice tray, but anyways. And then finally it was the mini Shiki board that came with a replica autograph, and the Shiki board, this is my first Shiki board that I got, and I think the illustration is adorable, and I love that it's not just like a plain, not just like a print, it has like texture to it, so I thought that was very interesting as well. And overall, figure herself is very cute. I'm very happy with how she turned out. Her tentacles aren't as shiny as on the prototype. That could just be that much light at the moment where I am, but she is very cute. I love, the reason I got her is because I'm a massive cat person, and I've seen a few of the Cthulhu figures, but none of them really sparked my interest until I saw this one, because of all the different octopus cats and all the hiding underneath her tentacles, in her tentacles, and she's holding some, and some of them are even on top. I also really love the bows to represent like a calico cat, you know, with the white, orange, and brown. And I also love the little hairpin of the Siamese cat that she has on her. So overall, a really nice figure. And while it's not noticeable at first, she does have quite a bit of shading on all of her tentacles, and also on her hair. Her clothes don't seem to have that much shading, not that I can see at least, but most of it is covered underneath the tentacles, so really what you'd be looking at is the tentacles. But overall, I'm very happy with how she turned out. I'm also happy that she is smaller than the box, and she isn't actually huge. Now the next figure will be the Katie Cole Osamu Dazai 15-year-old version 1/7 scale. I am of the opinion that there isn't that many male figures in the figure collecting space, at least not pre-painted figures, so whenever I see a male figure that I like, I will immediately snag them up. Now I know that Chuya and Dazai had a re-release a few months ago, but this is the one that I got in January of this year. So yeah, he's been sitting in my closet in his box for God knows how long. He came in a very compact box, which was good for me because that means I didn't have to play another round of Jenga to fit him in my closet space. His base is unreasonably big though. I don't know why they made it so big. They could have just made it a circle. I guess the only upside to this is that it has a bit of shading on it, so at least it's not a completely plain gray square. Now, as for the figure himself, he looks gorgeous. I love all the shading on him. It's very subtle. I think the shading is most prominent in his pants and jacket, also a little bit on his tie as well, but overall he doesn't seem to have that much shading. I do like that they made his shoes shiny, but I'm not entirely sure why they made his vest to be shiny as well. It's beyond me, but It's not like it looks bad, it looks actually very nice. I guess the only thing I'm not a huge fan of is probably the face. The face looks a little off to me and kind of wonky. It definitely doesn't look as good as the prototype, but I guess you can't expect the final product to look exactly like the prototype. But overall, I'm very happy with how he turned out, and I'm very glad to have him in my collection. And of course, I can possibly get Dazai without his boyfriend Chuya. Also manufactured by Katie Cole, he's in a similar box, or I think exactly the same box as Dazai, which makes sense since they're the same scale. However, little fun fact, when you put them together, you can actually see that Dazai is just slightly taller than Chuya, which I think is very cute, and you would not catch that if you didn't get both of them together. I was a little more worried about him because even in the prototype figures, he looked a bit weird. Like, he doesn't look anything close to the illustration he was based off of. But I thought, oh, maybe I'm just overreacting. He'll probably look a bit better when he gets here. And yeah, we'll get to his face in a bit. Let's just focus on the rest of the figure for now. His base is the same plain square that Dazai had, so nothing to talk about here. Overall, I say I like his composition a little bit better than Dazai. Yes, Dazai is a bit more dynamic, but Dazai is in a suit, which is nothing that interesting to talk about. However, Chuya has like this bomber jacket that has this pearlescent finish to it, which at first I thought was a very interesting choice to give him, and I didn't like it at first, but the more I look at it, the more stylized it is, and it actually grew on me quite a lot. He also overall has a lot more interesting shading going on. For example, his hair has an interesting shade of blue, orange, and pink in it, which really makes him stand out compared to Dazai, who is mostly black, gray, and blue in his motifs, so they actually complement each other really well when you think about it. But now, of course, let's talk about his face. His face is, oh my god, where do I even start? It just doesn't look like Chuya, you know? His face just looks really wonky, and instead of looking like he's scowling, he actually looks like he's pouting, which does not reminiscent of his character or even the illustration that he's based off of. Thankfully, when you put them together, they actually do look quite nice, and you really get a sense of the dynamic they used to have when they met at that age. So overall, I think this is a very good figures of the two of them, and even though I have some minor gripes with their faces, it doesn't deter me from liking the figures. And last but certainly not least, we have the Bungo Stray Dogs 1, Dazai and Chuya 14-year-old version. I saw this around the same time that the figures released, and I thought it would be so cute if they were just sitting in front of them or behind them, and there were just these cute little chibi versions of these really serious looking figures. And the one plus side to the massive bases that the Chuya and Dazai figure have is that they actually sit perfectly on it. I don't know, it was like they were meant to be together, and I love that so much. As for the little figures themselves, they're not really anything special. Like, as far as I can tell, they didn't have any shading on them or anything. But that isn't the reason I got them. I got them because I thought their facial expressions were just so adorable and so exaggerated and reminiscent of the anime. So I knew immediately I had to get them in my cart and ship them over here right this second. And just to have a brief overview of all the figures, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'll try to get this video out as soon as possible, but as I said in my previous video, I've been very busy, so hopefully I can get it out this week, and if not, then I'm sorry for that. And let me know what you guys think. Do you like any of these figures? Do you wish you pre-ordered some of them? Are they figures you're looking in the aftermarket? Let me know in the comments below. But that's all I have to say for this video. I hope I catch you in the next unboxing video, and if I don't, hope maybe I'll catch you in a different video. But for now, this has been Lucky, and as always, Lucky out.